Hello everyone and welcome to another video with me on Berets, and yes, before you ask, I have been a little bit absent for the last week. I have not been really doing too much with the channel for a couple of reasons. One, I was actually really sick the previous week. Currently with the potential that there is just a lot of coronavirus spreading here in Japan, it's actually in a lot. I think it's in over like 30 prefectures now, which is, there's only 47. I wasn't entirely convinced that I didn't get it at first. I'm still not sure if I did or not, but definitely took care of myself. Heeded the advice to just, really just tried to take care of my health for the last week. And now I'm feeling a little bit better, so I'm back and I'm here to talk about, well, the new mode that has appeared in JP and why I like it and why I think it's good. There's also just a little bit of news to dig into before we get going a little, just too much here. First of all, there'll be a new monthly CG, as there usually always is, to deal with Season 3 story on the JP side, and this time we got a banner with 3 characters, 2 5-stars, and 1 4-star. This banner will be going live tomorrow. I'm not going to talk about impressions or anything yet because JP has gone through a really big power creep recently, both in physical and magical. And we have basically a DPS banner. And that DPS banner, I'm going to wait and see what the numbers crunch out to be, because it's hard to say that this is super exciting. Dark Fina Bahamut version, she was a really high amount of power, and now with the new boss rush mode introduced another new character that is extremely high power. And yet here is a banner with basically 2 5-star DPSs. One of them is a best. And she's a story-based character, so I'm willing to bet that she's going to be very, very powerful. The question is how powerful and whether we're going to see a big enough power jump to recommend it, so I'm not really going to talk about that. I'll make that video tomorrow, and we'll take a look at that then. But in the meantime, I do want to talk about Boss Rush mode. This is the on the JP side's new thing. It came out actually on the 6th. So I'm a few days late. I only played it yesterday, again, not doing it mainly because I was just feeling sick and whatnot. But, so this is the Boss Rush number 1. And basically Boss Rush is going to be a reoccurring thing. I do believe it's going to be reoccurring monthly. It's going to become a regular thing. And with that, it's going to come back with these nice little challenges and actually some nice rewards. And that's the thing I want to talk about. Because for a while I've been kind of waiting for some new, really good PvE content that I thought was good and fair for all levels of players, that was challenging as you went up, but not impossible. And this is definitely, I think, actually really, really great. And it kind of has some really nice rewards too. So talking about it, there are 3 different stages. And as you go up to the 3 different stages, the challenge level is pretty much the same. Like whether you're on most or all of the beginner level, which is this one, or the intermediate level, or the highest level, the challenges are almost all the same. The only one being different is the final 2 levels. On the advanced one has one where you have to deal some lightning damage and one where you have to deal some fire damage. So that's also kind of a hint to the more difficult bosses. But most it's just clear, no deaths, no items, and if you do that, you get, some of the Esper challenge items on the JP side, as well as some tickets, some special tickets. But we'll talk about the tickets in a second. So first of all, let's take a look at how this works. So starting with the beginner, it's where everyone has to start. You go through it. Pretty easy for advanced players, for newer players, just a nice way to get some extra monthly summon tickets. So you start with just 1 boss. So at the first one, it's on beginner and starts with the Dread Rider. Pretty easy, pretty soft compared to what a lot of DPSs, even for new players, can dish out. So that's fine. Then the second time you go in and fight, you have to fight the Dread Rider and the Sandworm. And then the third time you have to fight the previous two bosses and the Hexadragon. And then Uro, which is another dragon. And then the last one also includes the Ominous Spirit. So it builds up from one fight to the second one being 2 fights, the third one being 3 fights, the fourth one, so on and so forth. And I gotta say, the easy ones, total breeze, really easy to get through. The intermediate ones, a little bit more of a challenge. This one included a little bit more difficult fights with the Grief Ridge, Apocryphy, Evil Drake, Creighton, Abandon, the Bomb Family, and last but not least, Roper in the intermediate stages, which felt like more of a challenge. Like, as it's like when you get into the one where it is 5 fights in a row, it is starting to get more difficult because you have to build teams specific ways, as well as you have to start, maybe thinking about elemental resistance or defense or how you're dealing damage or elemental resistances. And okay, like, this is the part where it starts separating, the early game players from the medium game players. All right, so a little bit more, but still the challenge is there, and I think the challenge is fair. Whereas in the last one, it ramps up again, starting off with, well, the Deer. I just call him the Deer. Followed by Iron Giant, Calcabrina, and then ending with Glacial Bird EX, as well as Bomb Family EX. Or, well, I guess it's Glacial Bird Kai and Bomb Family Kai. But anyway, the last two are the most difficult of the stages. I actually like this for a whole bunch of different reasons. One, it's a nice little climbing challenge that gives rewards all the way up, that is rewards for newer players and older players alike, and the rewards potentially really, really good. But I really like that the way that they did this by including a lot of lower level challenges. I feel like a lot of, like, in old Brave Exvius with the trials, it was always just make it incredibly difficult and make it like content that is just not for most people. Make it just whale content. And I think that there is some challenge in this for higher level players still, more of like how they build their team and whatnot to get through the end one. Like, any whale probably went through this fairly easy. But overall, the mix between the harder level difficulties, challenges, and some of the challenges that, are just old but are capable for a lot of players to do at this point, I think is just a really nice way of designing this. Especially if it's repeatable. I think that's good too. Like, if it changes up every month, it's just something, that they can recycle a little bit older content, and we can see that content again. And who knows, maybe there'll, start to be a little bit more difficult stuff next month if they thought that there was a little too easy and it just gives more rewards. Cool. So long as they keep giving, an opportunity for newer players and long-term players, players who really want to do like the hardest content, and people who just, want to do some easier stuff. I think that this is actually a really cool, well-designed mode. But of course, one of the things that always sells me on new modes is the rewards. And the rewards for Boss Rush are actually really, really insane. Or should I say potentially insane. There's anything from pots, medium and large, cactars and gill snappers, trust moogles from 1% to 50%, to random 4-star units to random 5-star units. And last but not least, the new character that you see here, Zenyatta. I'm going to say that that's how you pronounce that, Zenyatta. She is the new exclusive character to this mode. She has not gotten through EX tickets or anything else as far as I know. She is only available from the event. And the people who, like myself, who did not get her, well, guess what? You have the potential when this event comes back that you'll be able to get her next time. And that's really cool. Like, obviously the news about her and how strong she is making some players be maybe a little more salty, maybe a little more wanting just to go again kind of thing. But I think that always one of the best things for motivation is just having some really nice rewards. And this is definitely some nice rewards. Yeah, the idea that you can actually get like newer 5 stars, or maybe even, it looks like I see like Ifrit Rain on there, which would mean that Fest units are in it too. That's potentially nice. If the rates are a little too low, well, I hope this event becomes a little more regular if the rates are not that great. But like, if there's a really good motivational tool that people like are interested in getting, then that kind of just sells your mode a little bit more. And that is where I think we are with this. Zenyatta is undeniably just powerful. As a matter of fact, if global players, if you're wondering how powerful she is, I do believe, unless something has changed in the last little bit, the most powerful unit on the JP side in terms of DPS. And keep in mind, we've had a lot of power creep. Like, Advent Children Cloud was a lot more powerful, and then, you know, Dark Bahamut Athena came along and was more powerful, and that was just a little while ago. And now the unit that is essentially free is also available. I mean, you could just get her from one ticket kind of thing, and cool. Like, so let's talk about her real quick. Her TMR is a Materia 60% attack with 25% physical damage versus Beast, Humans, Dragon, and Stone. That's a pretty wide range. Humans and Dragons, cool. I mean, Beasts and Stone, alright, good too. But a 60% attack Materia with just extra physical killer on it, amazing. Her Super TMR is an accessory 65 attack, 100% equipped for true dual wield. That's insane. That's really just seems insanely good. I mean, there are a lot of units that also can get a pretty good amount of just true dual wield in their kit. So it's not like I'm saying that, oh my god, freak out, but it is just an incredible Super TMR and an incredible TMR on a really powerful unit. She is an AT, or Absolute Mirror of Equity Chainer. Her equipment is spears, maces, and fists, so not the greatest weapon selection, I would say, but still pretty good. In her kit, it's just, she has a lot of stuff. She has like self-healing, she has defense ignoring damage, she can increase her spirit or her attack just on regular skills, and also give herself extra killers. She can imbue 4 possible elements, which is probably one of the biggest things I would say in her kit. That's incredibly flexible. She has access to a wide range of elements too, including fire, earth, lightning, and darkness. Just a really big range that gives a lot of options to how she can dish out damage and what trials she can go into. She has triple casting. She can unlock casting 5 abilities. She also has just some cooldowns, one that can debuff the enemies for 120% for all of the elements for 3 turns. But it's on an 11 turn cooldown, and it's available turn 5, but it also gives her a 300% attack boost, so when she gets going, she will dish out a lot of damage. There's also just a ton of AT chainers. She gets extra bonuses in her kit. She has increased limit burst damage, and her limit burst is already, you know, a physical 60 times mod, ignoring 50% defense and 50% limit burst damage on top of that. Long story short, Zenyatta, I'm never going to get this name right, is just a really powerful unit. She is really strong. She is essentially free, provided you just go through the event and get lucky. But she is just really strong. And just to show off, because I do believe on my friends list, I'm not seeing many people that got her yet. I haven't seen just anybody who essentially has her, but to show off the kind of build that someone has been able to make, she looks like incredibly strong. if I had her, I probably would have TMR and Super TMR, Super TMR her right away because she just seems insane, or TMR, Super TMR seem insane. And it's adding really good value to the boss rush mode. It's a cool way of introducing a new mode by just, hyping it up, by giving a really strong, powerful new character. And also, too, I just like the idea that she's, not sword, she's not great sword, she's, kind of an original character. Her design's pretty cool. I like everything about her, and I like boss rush mode, too. Even if it is challenging or whatnot, got annoyed on stream playing it, but hey, that's more interesting, and it is accessible content. So all of that, can't recommend Boss Rush enough. And global players, hope you guys get it, fairly near future. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.